about a concept wherein you're going to make products that people want to buy rather than creating products that nobody wants to buy. They say life is too short to create products that nobody wants to buy. So it is found out that as per research, 80% of time that is spent in product development is wasted. It never makes it. None of the products make it to the light of the day. So there are some strategies and tips and techniques on how you can actually ensure that your product aligns to the customer needs. So there is this theory called jobs to be done from the digital practitioners body of knowledge that is newly released. So that really talks about looking at a product having to serve a job that a customer wants to get done, rather than create fancy features and a huge list of screens and attributes that nobody really wants to buy. So that is the whole perspective of the jobs to be done thing. So it's got a deeper connection to the value proposition canvas that is there which is a derivative of the business model canvas from Alex Ohlsweiler again. So it talks about two things. One is the value proposition. On the other side is the customer segments. So before that, there is a short story about how people really look at how do you ensure that you don't want to create products that nobody wants to buy. So they say that I want a quarter-inch hole in the wall. When a customer says, then people all that he wants is a quarter-inch wall and not a quarter-inch drill. So the customer doesn't care whether you do it in a drill bit or you take a hammer and make a hole inside it. He says, I need a quarter-inch hole. That's all what his requirement is. So he doesn't care whether you use a drill or some other fancy equipment to do that. And extending that logic further, if you keep on conversation with the customer, you can actually figure out that, okay, you ask these 5 whys. Okay, why do you need a quarter-inch hole? And keep asking why. I need a quarter-inch hole because I want to hang something there. I want to hang a light source so that at night when I'm working, I can be well lit in that place. So typically, if you see further, that his actual need is a light and not a quarter-inch hole. So when you keep talking to the customer using these 5 whys approach, or there are various other techniques that you can use. So if you keep on doing that, you'll discover his inherent needs are something else. The unmet needs are far more different from what they seem at the obvious level. And similarly was the case of McDonald's actually approached Clay Christensen, who is a Harvard University professor who was driving innovation and efforts. So they asked him to help them sort out what people really want early in the morning. So there was the set of customers who used to buy the milkshake from them, which was thick and very syrupy like thickness. So that really clicked. And then they asked the questionnaire to the customer, like, why do you want to buy it at this particular hour? He said, I've got an hour's journey to reach my office, and I need it with this level of thickness because I don't want to be hungry at 10 o'clock when I reach the office, and then I need something solid, and then this amount of viscosity within the liquid ensures that I'm able to only finish it by the time I reach office, and probably other means of eating are all very messy on the lap, and if I have to get a bagel or a donut, so that's all not very easy while I'm doing. So deep down, people's needs are very, very you'll really discover why people want to buy stuff. So if you were to go to why people buy certain things, sometimes it's emotional, sometimes it's a direct need, and sometimes it's fulfilling a pain point in the market. And typically it is, even the consultative selling framework also talks about that. The more you bubble up the pain, so you shoot the pain to the stratosphere, and then you'll have a customer immediately wanting to buy it from you. So it's all about some unmet need, or if you fulfill a pain point, and then people end up buying. So this is how it is. And my own story about I wanted to buy a Kindle, but then the salesman actually sold me this device, which is tab. So you can see a tab here, and then so I actually told him that I want to read stuff on a Kindle with a newspaper-like feel, and I want to pretty much it should be lightweight and all that sort of stuff. So he said, if that is your requirement, then why don't you go for this tab? Like for twice the amount of a Kindle, you can do browsing, you can check your mails, you can not just read Kindle, but there's a new light feature that will give you that faded newspaper like matte finish look on the tab. So why don't you go for that? So actually, I ended up buying a tab from that salesman, that expert salesman that he was, instead of my initial requirement, which was a Kindle. So in case if you're able to fulfill that unmet need of customers, then you are able to create products that customers want to buy instead of you're trying to sell something that you have created yourself. So typically this is actually explained well using the value proposition canvas, which has got two segments. One is the value proposition segment and then the customer segment. So on the customer segment, you've got the pain, what are the pain areas, and what are the gains that you can actually get, and what really are you trying to fulfill as the customer's needs. So you can put that on one side, and on the value proposition side you can say, okay, these are my gain enhancers, these are my pain relievers, and based on that you can create a product and solution. So it takes into account the jobs to be done on the right hand side. So what are the kind of jobs that you want somebody to be done? So basically get that very clear from your customer, talk to him, get into a dialogue and understand what are the jobs that he needs to get done one after the other, and based on that you can create the pains, what is his current pain, what is that he's going to gain if you solve that, and then you actually create the gain indicators on this side, the pain relievers on this side, and then based on that you can create the product and solutions. So if you're able to do this, then you can actually create awesome products and solutions. So it is quite useful for everybody who is into product management and development to know this, that focus your efforts on jobs to be done rather than blind features or attributes and fancy features that you think people will buy, but the market reality is very different. So here is thanking you with this note. Do like and subscribe this channel if you like this, and do share as well. Thanks a lot. Stay tuned to keep watching more of such content. Thanks.